the fact that we are able at Most Sacred Heart to also offer masses online has been a blessing for a lot of folks. People who couldn't get in town for the funeral of a loved one or for the wedding of a friend. Also for people who are homebound or hospitalized or caring for someone in need or whatever it is that makes it difficult for them to be at Mass in person, right? I know that when I had my knee replaced, I loved being able to pray with this community as I was recuperating. And if anyone is praying with us online right now, well, first of all, thank you for joining us. And know this, space and time kind of dissolves on some level here, and you might be not here physically, but you are with us, and we are with you. And Father Leo and I thank everyone who's worked so hard to make sure that we do such a good job of our online presence. Now, we began that effort in earnest back when the pandemic was raging and churches were shut down. At that time, in the United States alone, each day, 3,000 to 4,000 people were dying. And those were tough days. They were. And one of the things that I personally missed most, honestly, was being with all of you at Sunday Mass. I just love this time. And then before and after, of course, as well. Now, when things are a bit rugged for me, one of the things that helps me is to find things that make me laugh. And a number of you helped me greatly. I told some of you this, but one woman in our parish who's not particularly young, without any introduction, just sent me an email which said, 3 weeks into quarantine. And she said a woman goes to visit her neighbor in the backyard. And she says, "Where's your husband?" The lady said, "He's in the garden." Well, the neighbor said, I didn't see him. She said, "You have to dig a little." Several people also said things about online masses that made me laugh. One mom, who shall go nameless, said, just about as we're about ready to open churches again, said, "When I come back to church, even without my kids, would it be frowned upon if, merely out of habit, in the middle of Mass, I happen to accidentally yell, 'Would everyone just shut up?'" And she said, "Because that might have been happening at our house, not kidding, not kidding." Okay, anyway. And then a different parishioner who really likes to enjoy life said, when she watched online Mass, each time you take communion, I eat chocolate. Now, kind of like that approach, right? Now, in addition to those things that made me laugh about Mass, I also heard a number of things about what people missed about being at Mass in person. There were a good number of really sweet things, I thought. One person said, "The thing I found myself missing most was the community. I don't know a ton of people at church, but I know that I am welcome and loved there." And she adds, "Everybody needs a place where they know they belong." One man said, "Oh, Father, I took so much for granted. It's the little things. Seeing the same older man genuflecting until his right knee hits the floor and then seeing him painfully getting back up." He also said, "And seeing others at Mass and knowing that despite our doubts, we are part of a 2,000-year-old tradition." The third person said, "I know it sounds obvious, but what I miss most is taking communion. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. I can hardly watch an online Mass without crying when the priest takes communion." I heard many things like that. And on this feast of the body and blood of Christ, that brings us to this question: well, why are you here? I mean, what mixture of things that you're aware of or not aware of stir in you to have you join us at Sunday Mass? I know we might not name these for ourselves or be aware of them. I know some of them, it's kind of how I was trained, Father, just do that, right? Others have learned the value of saying thanks and saying thanks to God, and know the blessing of practicing to give thanks every week, to carve out that time for that. I know some, like those other folks, said, I know there's some here, I'm sure, who just, it's just so great to have a place where I am safe and loved. Even if I don't know people, I know I'm safe there. Or perhaps it might be, like that one woman taking communion. I don't even all the way get it, but I know I need it. Or maybe you are moved by those little things like that one guy, or whatever mixture of things or some unnamed energy that draws you here. I'll speak for myself. Why do I come? I mean, in addition to the fact that I am the priest, in summary, I need it. There is some part of me which knows that I need this. I'm not always aware of that part, but I know it's true that I need a Sabbath a day at least a little bit different than the others. I know that often there's a word of Scripture that kind of guides me or challenges me or comforts me or inspires me. I trust what Jesus said, as Paul quoted him today, that he said, "Do this in memory of me." And that when I take the bread that has become Christ's body and drink the cup that has become his blood, something is deepened in me, when I'm aware of it or not. And thirdly, I know that I know that I know I need the community of faith. You make a bigger difference. Your presence makes a bigger difference for me than you could know. I've said this to a few before. I know that you can't make the decisions for me that I have to make. I don't know that I'm good enough. I'm pretty sure I'm not good enough to do it without the support of other believers. And so, with all my heart, I thank you for being here. Now, please understand that even though I'm the priest, I don't always, no, really, I never have it in me to fully pay attention to each moment of every Mass, right? I do my best, but there's times during the readings when I'm looking over there just practicing my homily in my head, or behind the altar wishing my sciatica wasn't flared up, or I'm somewhere and I'm going, I got to catch that guy after Mass to follow up, or whatever. It's okay. I don't think anyone could be fully aware all the time, but I want to be aware and awake, and sometimes even caught off by surprise by things. So, again, in summary, for me, there's some part of me which knows that I need this. I need Jesus here. I need Jesus here. I need Jesus here. Back to that mom. When we reopened Mass for in-person times, fortunately, she did keep herself from yelling out in the middle of Mass. I commended her for that. And then I thanked her for being here, and for that there was something in her that knew that it was good for her to be here. I see her every week. And I told her that makes a difference for me as well. So, whatever combination of things have led you here today, things named or unnamed, thank you for being here. I am happy for you that you are here. And I am happy for me that you are here. And I do know this, whether we're aware of it or not, something truly good is deepened in us and among us when we gather like this.